In my left hand, I have one of the most expensive Seikos in my collection. It's a beautiful blue diver, I love it. I've shared a video on this watch, I love everything about this watch. But in my right hand, I have one of the most inexpensive Seikos in my collection. And today we're going to speak about this watch because I think that the more money we spend on watches, when we start going in excess of, $500, $1,000, $5,000, we start getting a little bit maybe proud. We start to maybe not appreciate certain pieces. And this is an entry-level Seiko. It comes in at about 140 bucks. Without being a watch snob, it's an automatic. It's got one of the nicest dials. It's got exceptional lume, fantastic applied indices, frame date. There's so much going on for a watch like this for the money. And sometimes we neglect certain pieces like this or not appreciate them. I shared recently a video where I purchased a Tudor, the Date Day. I bought that watch, but I also bought two more watches. I bought the Zin 556A, which I did a review just recently, and this Seiko as well. Only because, you know what, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer to have a watch like this in your collection. You're gonna go to a formal function, you're gonna go somewhere and you wanna wear a watch that's pretty much an all-rounder. And that's what I find this is, it's an all-rounder. You're not gonna get scared to get it damaged, but at the same time, because of its small footprint at 37mm, it's really gonna sit under the cuff, it's gonna sit well on the wrist. You're not gonna have an issue with a watch like this. And not only that, guys, I'm telling you, for all the gentlemen out there, this watch is also for your wife. She can put the Rolex aside or the Omega, the Tudor, something expensive, and put this on her wrist and not have an issue going out here or there. And she's got a nice, classy, dressing looking watch. So a very, very versatile piece. But I will tell you some of the disadvantages of coming into entry level, but also some of the advantages. It's a great footprint coming in at 37mm, the height at about 11.8mm. So the dimensions of this watch are wonderful. It's a really versatile watch for somebody at, let's say, 7-inch wrist or below. So it really fits well on the wrist, as you can see. The total weight of the watch comes in at around 80 grams. For my wrist, it's sized up, it's about 82 grams. So it's not a very heavy, cumbersome experience. And wearing it as a dress watch, wearing it as a watch that you're gonna enjoy going out, it's just got this particular look, this wonderful look about it, which I really like. But putting aside the beautiful look, the initial look, the lipstick that we've got on this watch, dig a little bit deeper, you'll find that there are cost-cutting measures to make it or manufacture a watch like this. And what Seiko's done is basically they put their entry-level workhorse, the 7S26, which to me, that's a very intelligent choice. What you've got is an extremely robust movement that, you know what, you'll probably never service. 10, 15, 20 years down the track, you'll probably never end up servicing a watch like this. It'll still keep going. And as far as accuracy goes, I've put this on the time grapher, and as you can see, it's about -5 to -6 seconds per day. Look, that's great. That's fantastic. And if you really wanted to get critical, you could probably regulate this thing, take it off the time grapher, open the case back, regulate it, but there's really no need. Honestly, that's so accurate, that's fantastic. But knowing me, I always like to dabble. I opened up the case back, I had a little bit of a fiddle, took me about 3 minutes, and look, I got it right. As you can see, the watch is settling, it takes a while to settle, and as it settles, you can see it comes to about ±0 to 1 second per day. So a very robust, a very strong movement, very easy to regulate as well. Really impressed. A no nonsense for the money at 140 bucks, a no nonsense movement. It'll go and go and go. Getting onto the bracelet of this watch, I think the bracelet is a hero as well as a letdown. I mean, I think it looks good. As a sports watch, something nice, it does suit the actual watch's design, albeit it's brushed and the entire watch is highly polished. So there is a mismatch in that regard, but as far as a nice look, a nice taper, it does suit the watch. And when I say the hero, the looks, the aesthetics, the taper, the vintage feel of it, it looks great. The weakness of this bracelet, obviously being a folded link bracelet, inexpensive links, it's very rattly, makes a lot of noise, but you know what, you're getting what you pay for. It does the job. Seiko's not known for their bracelets. So here we've got probably the bottom end, the entry-level bracelet. If we turn the watch over, you can see a display case back showing that 7S26. Nothing special, just a strong, reliable workhorse. The beauty of this watch is when it sits on the wrist. If we put this on the wrist, you can see that it sits beautifully. And for 140, 150 bucks, I think you're getting a pedigree brand, a brand that's been around forever, and a really good looking classic watch. Now, I did say at the start of the video, I'll tell you guys what I think the negatives or major negatives of this watch were. And look, obviously you've got a flimsy bracelet, it's a no-brainer, it is an entry-level watch, but the height itself, if you look at that, the way that this watch is presenting itself, that case back, being a display case back, it's a little bit thicker, but also it seems to push the watch up a little bit, make it sit up high on the wrist. Ideally, it would have been great for this to be a standard case back, maybe lose 1 or 2 mil, or even get that case to turn down a little bit more, just to hug the wrist a little bit nicer. As far as the crystal is concerned, there's a hardlex crystal on this, and that will present a problem in the long term, because for those who know, when you've got a nice dressy watch, something that's nice and clean, beautiful dial like this, you want to look at that dial. And the minute this starts getting scratched up, well, it's lost its appeal. It's lost its look and its luster. So that could present a problem in the long term. And probably the last negative, because I'm being very generous to this watch, guys. I'm being generous because it's not an expensive watch, but it's a fantastic, versatile, great looking watch. And the last negative I could possibly say is the watch feels a little bit flimsy, a little bit light. It does come in at 82 grams size to my 18 centimeter wrist, but the build quality of the actual bracelet, yeah, it is pretty average, albeit the watch head itself seems to be built well. And I only say this, guys, because I'm used to quality. So, I mean, this is coming out of the Grand Seiko factory. This is perfection. This is the best Seiko you could probably get as far as finishing, usability, all the rest. And we've got here something that's the bottom of the barrel, but it still looks great. It really does. Entry level, but it looks absolutely amazing. Now, the positives of this watch, guys, gee, no brainer. Size, applied indices, the applied logo, great lume, there's a frame day date, outstanding dial. The price, even the price now, I believe these came in when they were introduced several years ago. These came in at about possibly just over 100, just under $100. I still think it's a great proposition for an automatic, great looking sports watch. Let me know your thoughts, guys. If you're looking for a great introductory watch into our hobby, I think this is a great place to start. A real no-brainer, you can't go wrong, from a good brand and a fantastic look. Thanks for watching.